Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. I'm FuFuCuddilyPoof and this is level 249. Joining me tonight for this live show is Big L.
Hello.
Dang it. It's over there. It's backwards. Vulgar Latin.
Hi, I'm Vulgar Latin.
And we have Kooshmoose.
Hello. I'm Kooshmoose.
Pointing.
That was very difficult to point because on one of my cameras, it's correct. On my other camera, it's not correct. So I totally just pointed in the wrong directions to introduce everyone.
It's okay. We all sound the same. We're a collective. We're the Stefford podcasters.
Just 4 podcasters having lunch.
Speaking of lunch,
Hmm?
so I had all the hot takes last week. So I figured I'd throw one more out.
Oh boy.
What is worse, Taco Bell nacho fries or Thor Ragnarok? Because they are both god awful.
How dare you?
You know, I almost, because I was in Maryland this weekend, and I learned a few things about Maryland and their takes. So I learned that everyone from Maryland puts two things on everything: their flag and Old Bay.
Yes.
It's a good flag. Come on. And it's a great spice.
You're not wrong.
And also, Thor Ragnarok is probably a top 5 Marvel movie. All day.
Apparently it's opposite day.
All day. If you're looking for bad Marvel movies, you got Spider-Man Far From Home, you got Captain Marvel.
X-Men 2.
X-Men 2. Howard the Duck.
No, that's classic.
Howard the Duck is not a classic.
I know nothing about that.
Just because it's old. I watched the first 5 minutes and turned it off, but it's classic.
Yeah, I agree with Dan the Whale. Thor 2 is probably... That's the one that always comes to mind as like the worst.
Thor
Just
2
because
is
it's not good.
What's that one called?
Dark World.
Yeah. There's also Thor 4, More Thor. I haven't seen that one, though.
I refuse to watch the fourth.
I mean...
I say that Ragnarok tried too hard to be funny. And everyone who completely disagrees with me says that Love and Thunder tried too hard to be funny. So there's no way I will like it.
Yeah. I don't know. Spider-Man 3's not great, but I like it.
Spider-Man.
Is that the one where Tobey
The
Maguire
Toby
stops
one or the No Way Home?
He stops the van in that one, right?
The one that's actually called Spider-Man 3.
Let's try Al.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure. I don't remember that movie.
Let's get this van back on the road.
So long.
Yeah, it's the chasing a van down by the river.
By the river.
Okay, fine. I guess we can go to the patron question of the week. And that question was, this actually came from X the Hero. He said, are there any games, let me try that again. Are there any games that you wish you could van earned achievements in, but are no longer able to? Can be because of delistings, server shutdowns, support ending, etc. And let's go to Vulgar first.
Okay, well, I think clearly the best vans are Van Wilder and a Chevy Astro van, and maybe Rip Van Winkle. But let's see what the patrons
That's
have
a sleeper
to say.
hit.
Yeah, hey!
Hey!
Okay, so we have some
Is
other
that the
vans.
Cool as Ice guy?
No, that's Robert Van Winkle.
Oh.
There's also the Shoe Company. GT3 Option Fan has a serious answer. I've always regretted not being able to complete the first Forza Horizon. I purchased the season pass when it was on sale one time, but I was a dummy and never actually downloaded the DLC content before it got delisted. That, plus server shutdowns, makes it a game I wish I could finish because it is one I really enjoyed and always regret not getting the season pass content that I paid for. Sorry, there's a serious answer. Serious answer.
Sirius.
P-Tart
Sirius Black.
early time of Christmas says a Mercedes camper van, which I learned today was the most expensive of the vans. I binged it.
Don't buy Mercedes.
Otherwise, it would be 1 versus 100, only because the podcast has gushed about it many times about how amazing it was, and I am sad I missed out.
It's so good.
It was, yeah. I liked it. It was a good time. Chesno says,
Make more of that.
well, without surprise, my choice is fighting game related and falls to the many delisted fighting games on the arcade, such as Marvel vs. Capcom games, but one I would be most interested in playing that I can never do is JoJo Bizarre Adventure HD. A remake of a classic fighting game that I would love to play, especially after completing the new one that came to Game Pass earlier this year. Sadly, this is a series completion I'll never get.
Aww.
Aww.
Read verbatim. Mine, as I said before we started, I would never guess, is Steep. So Steep you can buy. You can buy Steep, it's available. But what you can't buy is Road to the Olympics DLC, which is delisted. And even if you buy the gold all DLC pack, you still can't get it. Still bro, like, you have to buy a physical edition or track down specialty stuff that I just cannot be bothered to do. And it keeps showing up on RTDL, this stupid Olympic pack, and I wants it. Steep's fun. I enjoy it. There's not a lot of snowboarding games. Amp kind of used to be. Remember Amp? I remember Amped. And there's not like a lot of that kind of snowboarding anymore. And I've really been enjoying my time with Steep. And I don't want to pay a steep price for Road to the Olympics.
Ba-dum-ts.
Just waiting for a tea joke.
But yeah, that was
Tea bag. Steep.
Steve's been like on my list of games I've wanted to play. It pops up every so often. It's just like, oh, I bet this is cool. This looks fun, but like, I don't want to pay for it.
It's $10 on sale right now if you want. I think the last time I checked. But you
It's
can't
on
get
Ubisoft Plus.
But you can't get the Olympic DLC because apparently outside of, 2018, they don't have the Olympics no mo.
Ooh, what if they made that available on Ubisoft Plus? Would you do it?
Ugh. I'll take the clam juice.
You wouldn't sign up for a month just to be able to play it and beat it?
Maybe if it was the last thing I needed, but I'd keep it private.
Wouldn't talk about it.
Actually, now I think about it, you're not one to really care about like completion percentage, so
I don't know what you're
yeah,
talking
that kind of
about.
makes sense.
I have a 53% completion percentage share and almost 2,000 played
That's not
games.
bad considering.
Man,
Yeah,
doing all those dives.
yeah, really. How are you at 53 when you've dove like 2,000 games in the past year?
What was that like before you went crazy with the dive bombing?
It was like 65%, I think.
I'm surprised it's only fell 12%.
Wow.
I'm pretty good at this achievement hunting stuff, or at least getting easy achievements. So I don't know. Guess we can pass it to L. What did you pick, and why is it Plants vs. Zombies?
Oh, you son of a...
That old chestnut.
Well, any new listeners know that Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, the boss rushes were shut down. And there was a mad rush to do them, and I failed. But that wasn't even my answer because that doesn't exist anymore, right? I have an answer.
What's your answer?
This may shock you, but what I miss is there was this thing that came packaged with my Xbox One. It was called the Kinect. One of the first killer apps for the Kinect was this awesome thing called Xbox Fitness. Did anyone ever try this thing?
I know of it, never tried it.
Clearly no.
I'm all about fitness. Fitting this pizza in my mouth.
Man,
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought I was going to have to censor right there.
You could say whatever you want on this show.
You thought it was going to be like Taco Bell nacho fries?
Yeah, so Xbox Fitness was awesome. There was full workouts, short workouts, but the achievement list was bad. There was a lot of grindy achievements, and they gave notice, but it just was ridiculous to get that completion. So I never finished that one. I made peace with that one, but it was a really cool service. Dan and Milo in the chat is saying Xbox Fitness was actually really great. I used it properly, and it really helped. What do you mean used it properly? Like you didn't hang like a bag or like a mannequin?
Yeah, I think he didn't have the fan or the shirt on a rocking chair.
What do you mean
You know.
properly?
He didn't put a rhino in front of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, when you played, what was that game? Connect World Party. Oh, what was that called?
Put like a shirt on the ceiling fan.
Connect Party, I think it was called. The 6-player Double Fine game. Something like that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you do. It was classic. Yeah, so that one, and standard answer that I also always use is Army of Two, because like, you know, when Burnout Paradise came out, like they shut down those servers, but they came out with Remastered, so it's fine. But they never came out with Army of Two Remastered, and that is built around friggin' co-op. It should be online.
Give me an Army of Two collection.
Yeah, there should be a collection.
It's not split screen?
There is split screen, but they also discontinued. There was online multiplayer stuff as well, so you can't complete the game. You can play split screen. You can, yes, but obviously that's not as convenient for everybody.
Nope. Army of Two is one that I also thought of because I never played it, and now I would like to, because I hear and people only say good things about the game.
You should play with Brooke and stream it.
You can be an Army of One.
That doesn't seem right in this game.
It's the
Yeah.
If you're going to play this game, you kind of like have to play in co-op. Is it backwards compatible? Yes, it is.
There's an achievement to play to complete the game with the AI, which is just awful. Yeah,
that's a terrible idea.
Don't do that.
It's a story about two men that can't open doors unless they do it together.
Everyone put sexy doors into the chat.
Now that you've ruined the plot.
Wait, not the Twitch chat. Just Discord.
And then they're like
Discord.
Then they're like, "Oh, we're surrounded, bro. Beast with two fronts." And then they go back to back and somehow don't die. But I do like the game. It's just very silly.
I feel like most like bro shooters from that period is going to be very silly.
I found that the broiest
puts gears to shame.
Yeah. In Army of Two, I was just kind of like, kiss already.
Did you kiss the character named Elliot?
Now kiss.
Right, they go around like, "Bro, I can't open this door, bro." Like, "Bro, I got you, bro."
All right, that's Vince Russo. Wakapel says, "The Culling 2. By all accounts, terrible battle royale, which shut down within 2 weeks, refunding everyone who purchased it. It was released before I started chasing the battle royale leaderboards, but truth be told, I'd probably still have waited for it to be discounted." I'm doing the counting again. "Before purchasing it, if it had stuck around."
Famous Jamaican Wakapale.
Yep.
I have earned every single discontinued battle royale achievement thus far, except those in the Culling 2. Well, I mean, by FuFu logic means, you know, if you haven't gotten these Culling 2 achievements, then you may as well just stop playing Battle Royales totally, since you can't 100%.
How is that by my logic?
That's FuFu logic. What do you mean, how's that by your logic? That's the
Well,
excuse you always make for not participating in TA events and getting badges.
Well, that's different.
Them all. That's not.
Yes, it is.
It? No.
I'm still wondering why Waka sounds like Baron Samedi.
Yeah, why was he rolling his R's?
The Culling 2. Oh wait. I remember that Culling 2 nonsense. That
he does not have me there.
At least
No. We're gonna go back to this now that Mental Knight has also said something in the chat. The difference between TA badges and like achievements in a genre is the fact that TA badges and really TA in and of itself doesn't pop up on your gamer tag. No one knows about it. Whereas like, you know, sure, you can still earn achievements in some in some genre or whatever, but like your gamer score still goes up. And at the end of the day, that's what like people really care about when it comes to this.
I think what Kenny's trying to say is badges.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need no stinking badges.
No.
Thank you. Well, if Mental agrees with you, then you know that you're both completely wrong, first of all. Second of all,
Mental
there
agreement
are
with you.
things known as silver and bronze medals. You can't be first at everything, Fufu. Do the best
Says
you
you.
can. You got a participation trophy. We should never play a game for gamer score again, right? Since no one will ever touch redemption, right? So, I'd actually agree with that one. Damn. No more baby games and no more culling. Scarvesi, who's also very proficient at rolling his R's, says lots of Windows Phone games. I tried to complete what I could when they announced that the support was officially being revoked, but it had problems before that, which meant I couldn't complete most of what I wanted. My biggest regrets from that list are Minecraft and Assassin's Creed. Yeah, when I think
Minecraft?
about Assassin's Creed games, the first one that I am so sad that I didn't play is Windows Phone. Come on, people.
Pirates,
At least pick a good
Pirates
friggin' game.
And Ezio's story, you're missing out on so much of Ezio's tale. Or Altair's story.
I have heard nothing but bad things about that Assassin's Creed game. It's not Pirates, right? There's another one. I remember something. There's platforming that was much maligned.
Altair story.
But I do feel bad that you missed out on Minecraft because I'm pretty sure Windows Phone was the only platform you could play that game. So that my heart goes out to you on that one.
Altair's Chronicles is what it's called.
Oh.
And Mojang's Mojo. Yeah, you can't play Minecraft anymore, but you can play Minecraft Dungeons, which is probably worse than the Windows Phone game.
Well, Windows Phone
Minecraft
games are a lot of
Legends.
things, but they're not mid.
Oh, here we go again.
What does that even mean?
Why did we invite him back? The world may never. The world may never know. And last but not least, Retro Chief says Forza Horizon 2 on the 360. When I started really playing Xbox, Forza Horizon 4 was the latest. Really enjoyed it in Game Pass and decided to pick it. And Forza Horizon 3 up with all DLC.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all mentioned during this. Became a fan, so played Forza Horizon 2 on the 1 and both Fast and Furious add-ons. When I finally finished all that, I decided to jump into Forza Horizon 2 on the 360. 2 weeks later, the server shut down and have not worked for over a year.
Oof.
Well, what I can say is you
hurts.
probably saved
Bad timing.
yourself more grinding, more boring car stuff. Oh, man.
Hey, Forza Horizon is good, sir.
Oh, yes, I am at the home stretch of getting the Encore achievement. That's actually going to happen tomorrow, hopefully, if it works.
I am.
There's
So
gonna be a lot
he
of
says.
happy people or a lot of very upset people if it doesn't.
What could go wrong?
Oh, yeah, what could go wrong?
This achievement only has 1 day left till retirement.
Servers go down today, probably.
I would be lying if I didn't say I was wondering what would actually go wrong.
Something has
might
to,
go
right?
wrong.
I was like, oh man, he's really close to Encore. Something's gonna go.
His Xbox just blows up tomorrow for no reason.
Gets
Just
It is
completely
called
stops
Encore,
working.
right?
photo
Get that confused
glitched.
with the what's that ODST one? Oh, Endure. So
Uh,
Encore means that you have to then do it again, right?
One more time.
Yeah, keep doing it over and over.
Got to do Forza
I mean,
Horizon 5 next.
I can't imagine going from 4 to like 1 or 2 though. That sounds like it would just be a bad idea.
It's not that bad. The biggest problem for me is that there's less destructible things, and then on challenges like the drift challenges,
right.
there'll always be some minivan or something that's just like, oh, I see you're doing a drift challenge here. I got deliveries though, and you can't like phase through them like you can in other games. So it'll
That's
just be
realistic though.
It is so realistic. Yeah,
That is realistic. Minivans are everywhere.
beleaguered-
They're destroying.
the beleaguered citizens of southwestern New Mexico or whatever are just like, please leave us alone. We want to use our roads.
Roads.
Where we're going, something. We don't have Dustin Roads.
Always comes back to the vans.
That's the road, baby.
That's the road, baby. All right. Koosh. Talk to us,
All
baby.
right.
Baby.
Okay. Well, I will tell you what Hurricane Dale says. He says, I really wish I had the foresight to purchase games like Pandemic and the Forza Horizon DLC. They're all delisted now and just forever stuck on my tag. I also wish I spent more time to finish Gears Pop.
Oof.
We haven't talked about that in a long time. I remember
I
grinding
agree.
it when I had 2 days left, and I wish I started sooner. Delisting games and DLC is evil. Haha.
100% agree.
Ahizo says, my irritation with Mass Effect Infiltrator is no secret. It was a Windows Phone game that had achievements, and I did own. Unfortunately, it was one of the few games that didn't work on Windows Phone 10 due to changes in how the phone handled videos. I was going to say voices. That's a good reason to cancel the phone. By the time I decided to buy a new Windows Phone 8 device specifically for that game, found out that signing in a new account on Windows Phone 7 or 8 was long since disabled. It's the only thing stopping me from getting a full Mass Effect series completion, minus the couple of unattainables in the Mass Effect 2 Japanese stack. Wow. You're going all out for the Japanese stack. I obviously wish I could finish my other Windows Phone games, but that is the only one that truly bothers me to this day. What the Fug says Project Spark. Oh, wow. That's a throwback. I really wanted that completion, but some of the achievements required a lot of coordination, and I just ran out of time. And because it always needs to be brought up, 1 versus 100. That Project Spark, man, that was a rush. When the whole TA community got together to do, what was it, the likes or whatever for your levels and the plays.
Never
possible.
I remember the community coming together. And there was a Windows 8 stack too, I think, maybe.
I think that's true. That
I want to say
sounds
the people
familiar.
that made the game helped with some stuff.
So what exactly
I
is
remember
Project
working on
Spark?
that.
It was in that time I stopped playing Xbox games, so I never played it, which I believe makes it classic.
I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
You don't remember the Project Spark? Okay, wow. We're pre you guys. Okay, interesting.
Well, no, it's in the middle. It's in the middle. There's a
Okay, so we were on a break.
I thought we were on break. Yeah.
So I know the Z podcast was talking about Project Spark forever ago. And I came in either at the tail end of when Project Spark was being completed or was right about to be delisted, or I was either that or I came in afterwards. Like it was very close to the end.
It was
or shortly thereafter of the death of it.
2016.
Yeah,
So it
I
was
don't
like
remember.
Right around when you were born. May.
Somewhere around there, I came into it. I never started it because I'm like, well, what's the point? I don't have enough time.
Yeah, I did get both of those. I forgot that I did the PC stack.
Did it?
Those crazy times.
Wow, it's worth 11,000 TA.
Woo. So as for me, I was gonna say Army of Two just because L talks it up every time he gets a chance, but then he said it, so I can't go with that.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go with it's more a game that I'm upset that I can't get. So we always skirt around the rules. The Voltron games on the 360 that were digital only. I saw those and I was like, are you kidding me? There was a Voltron game? I'm going to get it right away. And then saw I couldn't get it. And that makes me very sad because I do like me some old school Voltron. But if we're talking...
I didn't know that was a game.
Yeah, it was a game, but it's, you'll never get it.
And
Unless
it
you go to
was
something like Achievement
5
Fest.
players? Was it 5 players?
I don't know. One of them was a puzzle game. That was on the Windows. And there was a shmup. I love my shmups on the 360.
Oh, no, that's not one.
That one I would like to get. But if we're talking just achievements, just digging through on TA for what I could possibly mention, Happy Wars was a free game, and I'm a little upset that I didn't go a little harder on that before it went away, because it wasn't a difficult game. It was just a grind, and I just didn't put the time in. And then the one that really gets me, sort of, only when I think about it, is Darksiders 2. It has a discontinued and a partly discontinued unobtainable, just because I love Darksiders 1, and I would like to eventually go through and get like the series completion, and I guess it's not possible now, and that bothers me.
Right.
But it doesn't keep me up at night.
Yeah, Fufu. So what you should do is not start the game since you can't get all the achievements. Yeah, I understand. Koosh is right.
Well, Koosh, maybe you can piece together a whole bunch of other Xboxes to get those Voltron games.
You could go to Achievement Fest or visit New York if you'd like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is Achievement Fest. If I can eventually get out there one year, I'll just hole up and play some Voltron.
Looks like I started it March 2012 and finished it in April 2012.
I will be out in Achievement Fest
easy.
if you'd like to meet me
5
live
days.
in Terre Haute.
That sounds like a fun one. Oh, complete a level in Xbox. I guess the servers are still up.
That's
Of course they
infuriating.
are, right?
That's
Really?
infuriating. If the servers
course they
up,
are.
Yeah, no, those,
Game.
really?
Really?
Those old
Licensing issue?
Xbox 360 ones, they stay up. Like,
Hey, look.
they're not
There's,
great, but like I did
in
the
recent-
Ultimate Mortal Kombat, and that's been delisted a long time.
In recent winners, there's 4 people got April 22nd.
That's
Wow.
So, yeah, it's complete a level with 4 other players. So I guess 5 people got it.
That begs the question: what's going to last longer, the 360 servers or the 360 in and of itself?
Like it's going to evaporate? Like what do you mean?
Like what?
You mean like all 360s will get
Yeah.
the Red Ring of
Like
Death
our
before
memory
the
of
Well,
the
like the
servers
market-
360 will
Well, like a
fade.
marketplace. Before
Oh, the
everything gets delisted.
Basically is already.
I mean, would they keep the servers up if they took down the marketplace? That doesn't really,
Sure.
I don't know. Would they?
I don't know why you would do that.
I think all 360s will go up to a farm where they can just overheat all they want.
What about you, Kenny?
All right, so I'm going to read some patron questions first. First one comes from Hawkeye Barry. He says, NBA 2K17 The Prelude. Played a game because my GTAX partner told me it was easy points, but I didn't look at the achievement list right away. It had an unobtainable, and the final game wouldn't load. Now I'll sit at 800 or 1,000 forever. Yeah, I'm somewhere on that same line.
Remember the
I think
Prelude?
I started that game as well and didn't finish it.
It's like an hour.
Oh man,
I don't know.
Wasn't it?
I loved that game. I made myself like a 5 foot tall point guard, and I just wanted to see how badly I could fail to get the points. And like they're like, oh man, I don't know if we're gonna make it to the draft. Kill Little Skittles, because that was my name, was Little Skittles, and
Nice.
Even Koosh completed that game.
Yeah, man, that was back in the day. I was looking forward to Prelude 2018, and then they didn't do it for us.
Don't Elroy us, come on.
Like PlayStation. Yeah, I'm gonna have to phone a friend, get Elroy in here to tell you about the saga.
He's
of
gone on rants about this.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
I finally
think it
found
was
a
something
sports
like.
game.
I think it was something like I started it and then I had to leave or something like that, so I turned it off, and it didn't save. And when I went back to finish it, I had to start all over from the beginning. I said, screw this, I'll do it later, and later never came.
Yeah, I mean it is an hour.
Prophetic.
Lazy, man, laziness. Restack says, while there's a lot of 360 games that I'd love to have had the chance to complete, I wasn't really into achievements and the completion set. But if I was to regret anything the most, it would probably be the NCAA football series, a series I dearly miss. While Madden's okay, I love the idea that, at least in some alternate universe, Cal was a champions of the sport. And I'd love to have a completion in the series on my tag.
Here.
Lots of sports ball.
NCAA
A lot of people
football
like
is-
those NCAA. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
think some of
I
them
had a
are
couple of
even
friends back
worth
in the
money.
day that would rather have played the NCAAs instead of Madden.
Yeah, no.
I don't know why. I don't know what the difference is, but
One's college football and one's pro.
it all just seems like football to me. I don't know what the difference in the game is.
College football plays a little bit different, has different plays, and also location and sense of space was a big part of it. They also had fun modes where you could play as mascots, which I liked.
Okay, that's cool.
And the recruiting's different because you can't, like in Madden, you can just buy players and then have a draft and kind of work through it that way. But there's a different recruiting process because you have to go to places and talk to the recruits and get them to go to your school.
Huh.
And you can't just throw money
That's
at
actually
it.
kind of cool.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Plus, with college, there's almost always a team that you're close to that is your hometown college team. So it gives it a bit more sense of place and location. And, like, you know, I could go to my alma mater and have them be good at football again, which is something that didn't happen and will never happen again and makes us all very sad and is a tragedy of the state.
See, you say that as someone who doesn't, as a Nebraskan who doesn't have a professional football team.
No, we do not have a professional football team. We have a group of amateurs in every sense of the word.
Like Baltimore's baseball team.
Not wrong. I'm
And
gonna say
football team.
Baltimore Ravens Stadium is about 15 minutes away, so
Yeah, no, Jables, they canceled them because of name, image, and likeness laws, which actually they're going to probably start making them again, but a bunch of college players sued because they couldn't get paid off of the likeness that the EA games were making, and they were right. And the rules have since been changed, went to the Supreme Court. So, yeah. So hopefully we will get NCAA football games again. I will be very excited and pick one up when it goes on deep sale or play it on EA Access because I don't buy football games for full price. But I
give it 3 weeks and it'll be half price.
exactly.
All right.
Wow.
Northern Lass says, I wish I'd be able to complete Game Room. I wasn't bothered as much about completions in the 360 days and played it a lot, but didn't buy all the packs, just the ones with games I liked. If only I just play for fun nowadays.
Yeah, I
I
think
remember
if you find
playing a little bit of Game Room back in the day, but I don't even remember what games were in there.
I think if you find a friend, you could still get some of the achievements. But
If you know a guy.
yeah, I know.
Got to go to Achievement Fest. And a last minute entry comes from X the Hero. He says, I'm very disappointed that Xbox Fitness was shut down. Playing those workouts was the first and last time I've ever worked out. The incentive to earn gamer score was enough to get me to exercise, but I also enjoy the programs. I'm very disappointed to have seen it go, but for the unobtainable achievements and for the being healthy aspect.
So wait, that's
Look
the
at you,
first
Al.
and
You and
last
X are
time you-
agreeing with something.
No, wait. Even I've worked out since then. And you said it's the first and last time you ever worked out. X.
Great news, X. The Fitbit has achievements.
Yeah.
You can get
And
those
other
achievements.
games.
Yes, it does.
You could play Just Dance. You could do plenty of other things to get off your behind. Come on now.
I get Fitbit achievements.
I did not know the Fitbit had achievements.
Fitbit has stuff. Yeah, I think they're getting rid of the Fitbit badges or something.
Oh.
I would like to have a Fitbit, but if I wore it during work, it would get destroyed. So
Oh, yeah?
I don't have any watch like that.
Don't they have
All
one you
right,
can put in your shoe? There was like a Fitbit you
Is
could
there?
put in your shoe.
Yeah, I think you can
thought
get
there
like
was.
a leg brace or whatever. And
Yeah.
you can just tell your coworkers that it's just
get
for
an
Yeah.
ankle brace.
some
Still
other
had a
reason.
slight run-in with the law.
Yeah.
You kind of have to wear it and then just leave it on the table one day.
For fitness.
Yeah, it's my fitness bracelet.
Cut it off and then run out one day, just see what they do.
Also, I can't get close to a school. I hope you guys understand.
As for me, a couple of games came to mind, similar to like it's already been said, but Army of Two, that was one of the first games I thought about. I also thought of the Windows Phone games. I wish I would have put more time into like Castle Siege. I know there's a Zoo Tycoon on the Windows Phone I would have liked to have been able to try. And actually looking through the whole Windows Phone list, it's like, oh look, there was actually a couple of games on here I would have liked to had, but I wasn't buying a Windows Phone knowing it was going to shut down. And I think Thursday night, I think you were talking about how there was a Keflin's game on the Windows Phone.
On Windows 8.
Windows 8. Okay.
Yes, there's a
Add that
Windows
to the
version.
list.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been able to get achievements in that too. One game that wasn't mentioned that I would like to come back was Guitar Hero Live. Now, that controller was trash. I didn't really quite like it. I liked it in that it was different, but I'd rather just have the regular plastic guitar. And not to mention Guitar Hero Live in and of itself was actually really easy. It was actually a really easy game. But I really enjoyed what they call it, I guess the live feature, but that doesn't seem, maybe it was that, I don't know. But where they had like the music video going in the background and you're playing along with it. That was cool. I thought it was a really cool idea, but Guitar Hero Live had so many problems with it. Not a good game. Cool ideas, not a good time. Guitar Hero TV. Thank you, Dan and Matt. That's what it was. I didn't think it was live.
This is quite an interesting question. I will say there's probably a psychological study that can be done on all of us.
Well, I would say that before the achievements.
We can get 20,000 achievements and 5,000 completions, and we will remember the ones that got away. Is that just normal behavior in general? And remember the girl that got away or whatever. It's just, you could go through and have a great life, and just you'll find something they're like, oh, I wish I did this, or I wish I didn't do this, even if everything is great. That's just normal.
In some regards, I think people think of it as like a pockmark or like a spot, you know, like it's just missing. Like you should be able to do it, but it's missing. There's a sense of completeness that just isn't fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
I also like to point out that in Twitch chat, I hope I'm saying your name right, but Radanas also said Guitar Hero Live. That's what kind of sparked my idea. Yeah. Anybody have any other games you want to throw out before we continue? Sounds like a resounding no.
World of Tanks. Wish I could get like the co-op. I needed a tier 10 tank. I'll forever be missing that. You guys aren't World of Tanks people though. It's cool.
Isn't World of Tanks still up?
It is, but the co-op mode is not up. Yep.
Yeah. And actually, what was it? The other game that had Sea of Thieves. Arena mode's no longer up.
Yeah, but then I have to play Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
I like Sea of Thieves for a little bit.
When was the last time you played Sea of Thieves?
It was a long time ago.
The defense rests.
A long time ago. There's too much stuff to play. I also need a crew.
I'm sure you can talk to Captain Jables, and he'll.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just thought being a pirate would be, fun.
Jay Blackbeard, the pirate.
All right, let's continue on. Let's get into the game showcase. Nate, why don't you kick it off?
All right, I'm going to talk about a new game that came out last week, and it's not what you think. It's Nuclear Blaze.
What?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
I'm not talking about those other games because I think they need a little more time. I think some patches are going to come out to the last case
But you
of
played
Benjamin
two
Fox.
big games.
Well, I played the last case of Benjamin Fox, and I like it, but I'm kind of hoping that they have another hope that they have a patch coming out for it soon, because I don't want to talk about it until they patch it, because I'd have to say bad things. But once they patch it, I can say all good things.
I'm not going to patch that.
Oh, what's wrong with it?
Kind of the same thing for Jedi Survivor, but I haven't had enough time to put it into Jedi Survivor, so I'd like to give that a little more time as well. So what I am going to talk about is Nuclear Blaze. You probably haven't heard of this.
No, not at all.
And that's one of the American Gladiators, I think.
Hey.
This is a 2D side-scrolling action-adventure game, and it was created by one person, Bernard something, from Motion Twin. He was a former employee of Motion Twin. You may know them from the Dead Cells game. So this game was made during the Ludum Dare game jam, so 48 hours. And the prototype that he came up with apparently was well received, and he decided to take it farther. You are a fireman who is dropped into this hot zone, and you eventually, as you're trying to put out fire, you discover this building. You go into the building, and it ends up being like a secret bunker type deal. Can I go down there? You find all these. Yeah.
Sorry, Nate. I will be right back.
Okay.
And he's got diarrhea.
So you go in, you start putting out fire in this underground bunker. You're unlocking or unraveling a mystery. It's a very short game. It's about maybe 4 hours, something like that, if you kind of take your time with it. There is a little bit of story through basically notes that you pick up in the game. And if you've played Dead Cells, you can tell that this is the guy that worked on Dead Cells, because it plays very much like Dead Cells and it looks a lot like Dead Cells. There's actually a Dead Cells reference hidden in the game. But you essentially have a water backpack and a limited supply of water. As you progress through the game, you'll get another backpack that doubles that. There'll be little water stations that you can walk nearby, and when you get close enough to them, water will get kind of sucked into your backpack, and then that'll refill you. You can stand within that range, just shoot all around you, and that'll put out fires, but you won't be able to get everything in the level. You have to progress. The game has a lot of difficulty options that you can change. You can add some shields to yourself, so you can take a couple hits before you die. You can increase the power of your water gun, and you can also control the speed at which fire spreads. If you don't put all the fire out in a little section, it will start to spread. In fact, there's some levels where you'll have a timer that you have to put out, like a control panel, a fire on a control panel, before this timer counts down, and each timer is different. Or that will explode, and then you'll have to do the level again. Replays are very quick, so if you mess up a level, you die on it, you start from a checkpoint somewhere on that little level, and you can keep trying. I think you can change the difficulty in between levels if you need to, if things are getting too tough. There is a mode, once you're done with the game, called Hold My Beer. And they basically just kick it up, and you get the power-ups in a different order. And I think you get them faster right from the start. I want to say there's about 20 levels, something like that. And when I played through normally on the first pass through and didn't have too much trouble. Then went back for the Hold My Beer mode, and I played about 5 levels. And then it got to one of these levels where you had to put out fire, and it was kind of like in a circle. If you don't do it fast enough, then the fire keeps spreading around, and you just have to keep chasing your tail to get the fire out. And I said, you know what? I'm not having fun. I definitely am going to turn some assists on. And I did that, and I basically turned so many assists on that they called it 50% difficulty on Hold My Beer mode, and I'm okay with that. The game was still just really fun. There are cats hidden around the levels, not on every level, but on some levels. When you get to a level that has a cat, and if you've missed it, you can go back and you'll see on the level select screen, you'll see a little cat icon next to the level that you missed one. And they're always fun little puzzles on how do I get to that cat. there's no backtracking necessary, so that it's not like you'll get a power on level 10 that will help you get the cat on level 7. You should be able to get every cat on a single playthrough. There is a secret ending with an achievement tied to it for getting all the cats. And then there's another one for doing something special on the last level as well. It's just a really fun, short little game. The price is a little bit unfortunate. It's a $15 game. When this goes on sale, I'm going to recommend it. If you like platformers, it's really a fun little platformer. And like I said, you can control the difficulty. There's no like set number of lives, so you won't be have forced to start over again. You can just keep trying levels until you understand them and complete them. And it's just a fun little game. That's Nuclear Blaze.
I'm intrigued.
Oh yeah, I think the soundtrack is pretty good too. I don't remember it. I was playing it pretty late at night, but I just fired it up. I forgot to mention the guy who wrote it, who made this game, wanted to include a mode. Now this is funny coming from the guys who make Dead Cells, a really difficult game. He wanted to add a mode that would allow kids to play this game. There's like a no-fail mode. And I started to play it, and it was really weird because it started doing things for me. Like when you hold down the water spray button, like it sprays in an arc. So you don't control it, the arc yourself. It just starts going in an arc in 180 degrees, get what's in front of you all the way to what's behind you. And I started to try to jump onto the ladder. It wouldn't let me jump onto the ladder. Instead, I walked near the ladder, and it started going up the ladder. And he has these specially designed levels just for kids on a game that says Hold My Beer Edition. He's got these special levels that are just for kids to play. So, if they see you playing this and they say, I want to play, which is something that my daughter says all the time. And I have to tell her, no, this game's a little too difficult or whatever. I could hand my controller to my daughter, put her on the kids' levels, and know that she's not going to fail. She's not going to have a problem with it. So I just tried those today, and they're a little bit weird, but yeah, I think even kids would be able to do that. And it's just funny to me that he designed a special mode with no achievements attached to it just for kids.
So even Elle can play it.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's nuclear.
So are the
Blaze.
blazes all nuclear then? Are they all radioactive, or are they just that hot? Are they house fires? What kind of fires are we talking about here?
You're in an underground secret bunker trying to figure out what's going on. Like what kind of science is going on, and why does this bunker exist, and why is there fire down here? And you don't want to go too far into the story. It's not a great story, but it is kind of weird and wacky. And maybe you'll want to discover it as you go. I wouldn't say that there's nuclear fire. There's like no multiple different types of fire. But there will be fire that drops from ceilings, and it will continue to drop until you extinguish the ceiling. And if the fire spreads back to that ceiling, then that could still drop down. And that's a hazard you have to be aware of, and you have to dodge. And if you don't keep it out, it'll come back. There are nuclear like radiation pools. If you step into those, sometimes you'll take damage. But yeah, not a whole lot going on with the nuclear. I think it's just more that this is an underground bunker, and there's suspicious nuclear activity going on, or nuclear research. You're trying to figure out, okay, well, what's causing this fire to be uncontrollable?
Not all the games where you play as firemen, as far as I can think of.
Oh, yeah.
It's better than Arson's Devin, whatever the hell that came.
Oh, yeah, it's way better than that. No, this is a
you
game you'd
make the
actually
fire.
want to play. This is a game you would actually want to play.
So unlike Dead Cells, this is not procedurally generated?
Correct. This is not procedurally generated. Every level is fixed. And, yeah.
If Kenny were here, he would say the graphics are terrible. And
he would say, is the protagonist a human? Who
Is
knows?
it
Who can tell
colorful?
these things?
man,
Who could do research on these and know this?
that's
I
a
don't
great
know.
throwback.
So that was Nuclear Blaze. What about you, Devin?
So yeah, yesterday, when you said you'd call Sears, I played Umarangi Generation. It was on my RTDL, and then today they said it was leaving RTDL, or it was leaving Game Pass. So I'm going to tell you all about it, just in case you guys want to, because I feel like I'm in a very specific point where I can tell you all about Umarangi Generation. It says it's a simulation, and I don't think that's accurate. I don't really know what it would be, but in general, the premise of the game is that you are like a photojournalist. It's a fairly light on plot, but it feels like it's in the future, and there appears to be some sort of war, and you get clues as to what's going on. They're like, hey, whatever you do, you can take pictures of whatever and we'll pay you, but don't take pictures of this specific thing. They tell you they're blue bottles, they're jellyfish, and it becomes a little bit more clear why. But you get objectives. They're like, hey, we want photos of this, and you got to wander around and get all of the objectives. So they're like, we want a telephoto picture of this, and you unlock more camera parts and things, and work with your focus and depth of field, and really just wander around and explore. And there's side objectives like film canisters around that you can collect. You got to take pictures of your friends who are there just dancing around at all the different spots. It's trippy in its own way. It has a very unique style aesthetically, and I think I did like the soundtrack. The biggest problem that I have with the game is that in order to get everything, you have to beat each level in 10 minutes. So you have to collect everything, get all the stuff in 10 minutes, which if you have a guide isn't terrible, but I wanted to play through without a guide, which is why my time's a little bit longer. I eventually broke down and just got one to find it's the film canisters. They're little like black tubes. Ask your granddad what film was, and they'll be able to tell you. The video guide I used, a guy had a lot of jokes, and it made me very upset, and that kind of tempers it. But I think it's a fine little game. It's an hour or two. You could probably do it quicker with a guide if that is
Welsh dude.
What you wanted to do. He might have been Welsh. He had a lot of bits and shtick. I don't want to name names, but he had a lot of shtick, and it was getting old.
I hate when people do that.
I know. I was like, is this what I'm like? Is this what I do to people? But yeah, Umarangi is, I'd say it's worth it to chase after. It's $25, and I can't imagine playing that. They're paying that for that price. I would be probably a little annoyed if I would have bought it full price. So, but yeah, I'd say go for it if you like photography. I think if they removed the 10-minute speed run and just kind of let me go and explore at my own pace, I would have liked it a little bit more.
Is there ever a good situation for a speed run?
I don't mind them occasionally, but to get
like if it's like a core mechanic of the game, is that ever fun for people?
Depends on the person.
I guess not racing games. We're excluding racing genre, but like speed runs, I just don't enjoy them.
There's a rush about them. Why not?
I just don't think it works in this game. I get it because it's kind of like a scavenger hunt, but to get everything done and do it in each level has to be done in under 10 minutes. If you know where everything is, you can fly right through it and probably do it. And I think I was averaging about 4 because you can pause and look it up. This also, I felt like it desperately needed it's a picture game. If it had a picture guide, where it's just like, here, go, this is where everything is, I would have probably liked it a little bit more. So,
yeah, I like speedruns and stuff like Halo when you try to beat a level in 10 minutes or something like that. That's always fun. And then you try to figure out the best paths and stuff like that, pathing. It's fun.
It depends on if the game's better to be like... There's something to be said about if a game's replayable or some of those levels are fun to be replayed. Something like this I don't feel like is improved by needing to do it fast. Yeah,
this sounds bad for this. Just like it was bad for that, what was it, Journey Part 1?
The Journey Down?
Yeah.
In a point and click, that's really weird.
Dumb.
That's really weird in a point and click.
Yeah, I think and also this game, it felt like it was just more about being an experience and just kind of like, kind of picking up on the subtext clues that what's going on. So there's stuff that's happening, and it has a lot that it's trying to say, but I think if you're going through with a guide, if you're trying to speed run everything, you're going to miss a lot of that, and then you're just left with, it's a game that doesn't, like, you have some platforming, and the platforming's not all that great. You have a double jump, it's fine. Once you beat the game...
So it's a Metroidvania.
Yes, absolutely. Once you beat the game, you get hover boots, which is handy for one specific missable. That's I think it's possible to get with your normal double jump, but just come back for it later. And sometimes the camera can be pretty particular. There's sometimes where it's called a postcard shot. They tell you where to stand, and they give you the postcard of what you're trying to recreate for the camera, and you have to recreate that shot. And sometimes it's really fiddly with what it accepts and what it doesn't. Overall, though, it's pretty good. If it was any longer, I think I would have soured on it. I think there's only about 7 or 8 levels, so not that long in general. And if I had paid for it, I don't think I would have liked it at $25. I don't think it's a $25 game. 25's
Wow,
a bit high.
Now, people on the Discord were telling me that it's basically paparazzi. How do you feel about that? Is that true? Do you think that's a true...
I didn't play much paparazzi.
It's probably good. Probably good you didn't.
Yeah. Well, I'm not like super into... I don't like dogs. They're fine.
Oh, but I gotta go, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm really...
I feel you.
They're just like, they're okay.
You might be the first person to get beat up by people from Maryland, Vulgar.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like the aesthetic of paparazzi, which was just like, a really creepily obsessed community about dogs, just like, it really put me off. It was just like, you know.
And anthropomorphized cameras, yeah.
Yeah. It was weird.
So I've watched a few clips of, how do you say this?
Umarangi.
Okay, yeah. I've watched a few clips of this, and for some reason it's just reminded me of North.
Is that, no, it's not really like North.
I know it's not. From the couple of clips I can look at, this looks better. That's a low bar, but this looks better. I don't know, it might just be the very basic graphic style. It's kind of dark. I don't know.
I think we've hit a point in time when people are starting to be nostalgic for the PS1 and N64 style of graphics.
You're probably right.
You play it on your Xbox?
It's the same as like when people do 8-bit or 16-bit revival games. I love the look of Celeste, but there's other people who are like, this is really lazy. Why don't they do 3D graphics? Let's go pee on stuff.
What?
That's them. That's how dumb they sound.
Oh. So, did you say
I know when I play shooters, I kind of wish that all the graphics were really basic, but that's just because I'm half blind.
I think there's something to be said about an aesthetic and a style and sticking to that, which you don't, like, in actual, like, art paintings, you don't look at, like, oh, this is hyper-realistic art, so this must be the best art. This is truly the peak of art, and this beats this cube stuff, because that's just cubes. If you can nail the look and the vibe and what you're trying to go for, I can appreciate it a little bit more than, like, most of the times when you're trying to do hyper-realistic in 10 years, you kind of look dated and silly, and you remember the games that have a specific vibe. That's why things like Wind Waker tend to look a little bit better than Ocarina, because Wind Waker has a style, and this game has a style and aesthetic. We went off on a tangent, but for 1 to 2 hours, for a relatively easy achievement list, most of the stuff, if you just do the bonus objectives and do that, you'll get it. there's very few missable stuff. Like, and there's a chapter select. So even if you do miss anything, you can go back through, find it, and take your pictures. It's not bad.
Yeah, I was just wondering if this would be better played on the Xbox or the.
Probably PC because you could probably have a bit more fine camera work, but I wasn't struggling with the controls. It's very basic in how it controls. I don't really think that it's like shooting mechanics because it just gives you like first person shooter controls, and I don't think those are like.
And I assume that it's kid friendly.
Kid friendly, but kids won't like it.
Some of the stuff can get kind of dark. It depends on, I don't know,
Really?
what do you want to raise it? Well, there's smoking. That's a war. It's an active war
So
that's going on. It's not blood. Like there's no like blood or like overt death, but it's implied. There's a lot of like. There's probably a pretty deep. I watched a video on it on YouTube, a channel called Errant Signal, and it talks about a lot more of the plot theming and stuff of Umarangi Generation. And I can throw it into the podcast discussion channel if you're interested about like that kind of stuff. I don't want to spoil anything, but I could appreciate watching it. Kind of worked as a nice side there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a dad, so I can't really say if it's kid friendly or not. My parents let me watch Terminator 2.
And when you were
4?
5? Oh.
On release.
Okay. You were not furlong for this world. I mean, yeah. Probably shouldn't do that when you're 4. Maybe 5.
Yeah, I would have had the emotional maturity to figure that out.
Exactly.
All right. Well, if that's it for Umarangi,
Umarangi.
I literally forgot it that quickly how to say that.
I believe it's New Zealand. I think it's
FuFu.
Maori.
You promised that you're going to stream this after the show, so you better get with it.
I didn't promise. No,
Yeah, you did.
I did not promise anything.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. What game do you want to talk about, Al?
All right. I'm going to be talking about a game. So last month, April,
Good.
I waited until the last minute for role-playing games. I needed to find 1,000 gamer score in a game. So I was looking at the shortest role-playing games, and there was a couple of Windows games that said half hour to an hour. And then I looked them up, and it says, yeah, these are games that used to be allowed, but now if you do them, you will get in trouble. So there's a couple games
It's only cheating if you get caught.
No, in these specific cases, it's cheating at first is okay, but then it's not okay. It's a little weird, but they can't go ahead and change the times on those because even though they're 80 to 100 hours now, because it's the stupid voting system and it's not correct. But whatever. Enough about that. So there was one game that I had not done yet, and it's on Game Pass, and it is The Bard's Tale ARPG Remastered and Resnarkled. Now, when I was growing up, we had a game called Bard's Tale, and it was a very old RPG that came out in like 1985. I know Nate knows this.
They had computers back then?
I'm positive he knows this.
I've played those.
You have? Yeah, so they're old, and they're very... they were definitely good for their time, but I found them kind of slow and boring. Next to Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy, I did not like them. So I thought this was something like that. Boy, was I wrong. This is a game called The Bard's Tale, but it's completely different. It's an action RPG, which it says right in the title, I guess, ARPG. And it was a PlayStation 2/Xbox OG game.
Ooh.
It's remastered and resnarkled because the main character, which I just read, was voiced by Carrie Elwes, and I did not know that. So that's pretty interesting. That's Princess Bride dude Wesley. So basically, it's a fully voice acted game. You go around and you fight stuff, and there's a lot of dialogue, very, very funny dialogue. So the time estimate on this game is 2 to 3 hours, and that's because you can do cheat codes to give yourself invincibility, one-hit kills, infinite gold, and on top of that, you do, I guess you would call it console commands, but what it really is there's a debug menu in-game, and you could just warp to any part of the game at any time. So there's a very good walkthrough on TA. Now, the problem with me is that I don't tend to like spamming through the dialogue. I actually watched the dialogue and the story, and I thought it was very funny.
As you should.
So for me, I think I did it in 4.5 hours, which is still not too bad. I watched everything, but it was definitely down to the wire. I got it done at 11 o'clock on the 30th, so I only had an hour left to count for the gold medal target. So that was close.
Barely got it.
Barely. Yeah, so the thing about this game, I think you did this, right? I think Nate did it and Devin did it. You probably don't even remember it, but...
I played the original. I think it's over here on my shelf.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had it on the PlayStation 2. That's why I cheated with without feeling anything.
Even if you cheat, you're still seeing a lot of the game, or I did anyway. So there's a lot of dialogue, like I said. The first thing you see is you wind up in a bar, and there's a big-chested woman, and she's telling you to kill a rat for her, and mayhem ensues, and I don't even want to get into what happens, but it just, I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun. If you have time to play it legit, I guess go for it. No one's going to, but it's in Game Pass still. A lot of people have done this one.
Yeah, I thought it was a very fun dungeon crawler when I played it
originally. When you talk to people, you have the choice sometimes of being snarky or being nice, and those actually lead to different things. So early on, you can get a dog. If you're snarky, you can't get the dog. And the dog is not only an achievement, but he follows you the whole rest of the game and helps you out and barks and finds you treasure like any good doggy should.
See, now this is how you sell a game.
You cannot pet the dog that I can see.
And this is how you don't sell a game.
But you can kill chickens and tip over cows for achievements, so that's always fun.
Not bad.
Yes, killing chickens, of course, popularized in Zelda, and definitely fun. What's interesting is the game never gets really filthy or dirty, though. There's no swearing, really, that I remembered. But it's very toilet humory. There's a lot of really
game
fun...
up your alley.
There's a lot of fun songs in the game. Like, the first thing you do is you see some drunks and they sing you a song about beer. Just a lot of fun. And there's one achievement that's kind of annoying, that you have to keep donating gold to the church over and over and over, kind of like real life. But every time you donate to the church, you unlock stuff. So, like, you unlock the movies, you unlock songs, you unlock art gallery, stuff like that. That's the fun stuff that we used to do before achievements, right? Unlock that kind of stuff. That used to be fun to unlock. So I would recommend this if you haven't played
stupid thing over and over for an art gallery that no one really cared about.
Yeah, art galleries were cool back in the day.
I used to judge art.
Yeah, so as far as the achievements go, if you have the guide, most of the achievements are just beating this chapter, beating that chapter, and you warp right in and you beat the chapter. And then sometimes you have to do some missions and kill some bad guys, and I had a good time with it because I assumed there was going to be some first-person dungeon crawling with no humor and no dialogue. I thought it was going to be really boring. It was actually pretty fun. Yeah, Dan and Milo, I think Carrie Ellis was and saw.
Yep. The first was...
So I'm curious. What was the OG Bards Tale like? The one you said came out in 86 or whatever it was that you said?
Go find some screenshots.
Was it complete?
It's on Xbox. It's the Bard's Tale collection. You can play it that way. It used to be, I think it used to be on Game Pass. I don't know if it is still, but you can go ahead and play them.
RPG. where instead of walking, you press up and you go one screen at a time. Yeah, go look.
It's very much like the old school D&D. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if it was similar to this game.
Not similar at all. Not at all. You just happen to
name.
be a bard and you play music and you summon large animals, and there's a lot of actual stuff you can do in this game. Oh, the opening cutscene and the closing cutscene are awful. They're like they're just the original PS2 cutscenes. But everything in game is pretty. Pretty. Well, if you want easy gamer score in an RPG, and it's got a nice Game Pass bump, it's worth like 1900 Ti. I would recommend this Bards Tale game.
I kind of assumed it was going to be more than that. I don't know why.
You could do this pretty easily.
Yeah, I see that now. I'm looking
Even
at the
Prue did
TA
it.
page. Yeah, 2 to 3 hours. You know what? You said that it was a 2 to 3 hour game. That makes more sense. Never mind.
Yeah, if you skip all the dialogue, you can do it in 2.5 hours easily. And
It doesn't
Welsh
look
Hunter
awful.
did a video for that also. And I turned that off after like 10 minutes. He was annoying me, even though he was trying to be funny. Hate when people do that.
Yeah, I know.
It's
the worst.
He said, this is just as easy as pinching your nipple. I was like, dude, this is stupid.
What?
Yeah, I know. He was weird. But people seem to like him. Anyway, Nate, do you remember this game? It's classic.
Yeah, I remember it. It was a game. I played it.
Game. But did you play the old Bards Tale games? Did you have the Apple?
I did not.
6,
I did not, but I had friends in college in Canada that played it. Yeah,
there was an
me, though.
NES one also, but like I was saying, I preferred Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior, so I didn't play that.
Well, the cool thing about that trilogy was that like you could keep the same party of characters and then have them go on, because I think you start out at a bar and then you recruit them and then you can level them up, and then in the Bard's Tale 2 you can import all of the same characters over. Yeah.
Was that a collection by chance?
That's cool.
Damn it. I'm like, why did you know all about this? Oh.
I didn't get very far, but
makes sense.
It's
there's the Bard's Tale 4 came out in 2019. I bet you that's all kinds of awesome.
That plays exactly like the old ones, but looks better. Well, not exactly. Like, it's much more like, Resnarkled is its own animal.
All right. Well, if no one has anything else to say about Bard's Tale, why don't we get into some sales recommendations?
Bard's Sale.
Yeah, the Bard's Way. Nate, why don't you go first?
All right. First, going to start out with Time Loader, $6 down from $15. This is a puzzle platformer. Estimate is 6 to 8 hours. I did the showcase for this in level 193. I think it's a fun little platformer, and that's a pretty good price for it. $15 was too much. $6 is way better. May still be too much for some people, but I think it's decent. Next up, Astro Aqua Kitty. This is $5.50, down from $15. Name. This is a shoot 'em up. I really enjoyed the first game. Never completed it. Should go back and do it. It is going to require some skill if it's anything like the first game. If that sounds interesting to you, this is a solid title, I believe. And finally, Jet Cave Adventure. It's $4.50, down from $15. It is labeled as a platformer. I watched the video. It is indeed. Looks a lot like a platformer. It looks pretty good. And if you're into that kind of Crash style, this is, a left to right platformer. So I know Crash, you can get behind them and kind of running. But maybe it's more like the new Ukulele. It kind of reminds me of that. Not as involved, because that is a great game. This is a $5 game. And I think it looks pretty good. Jet Cave Adventure.
All right. I got 2 to recommend. And talk about it anyway. Esports Life Tycoon is $8 down from $20. It seems like they're going to make a simulation/management game about freaking everything now, and now esports. I know nothing about this. I just saw the title of this in the sales list, and I'm like, okay, I'm somewhat interested. It has a 3-star rating on TA, so it's meh. but it's a 30-minute to an hour completion. So might be a quick completion if you like your management games. I don't know. I looked at a couple of clips. It looks like a 3-star game. I'll just put it there. And second game, I'm going to recommend this because it's not only just because it's a good game, but it's leaving Game Pass in 2 weeks, and that's My Friend Pedro. It's $5 down from $20. Now, as I say all the time, you only ever get 20% off when their game is in Game Pass. So this is 75% off. This is a far better deal. If this is something that you're going to want to play, now's the time to buy it instead of next week when it does leave. Get a much better deal. And My Friend Pedro is a solid game. It is good. Devin, what do you got besides an entire list?
I'm coming for Nate's crown today.
So this is what it feels like when someone reads a lot of sales. I get it.
Make a run at the king you best not miss. All right. First up, I got Door Kickers Action Squad. It's $3.
Great game.
Down from, I think, $15. Door Kickers Action Squad is a strategy game. I absolutely adore it. Very few completions on it, but it is super easy. I mean, I did it, so you can do it too. Very fun 2D. Says strategy, more of a kind of an action sort of deal. Would recommend. PC Building Simulator is $5.
Also a good game.
Yeah. Kenny said that they're making a simulator out of everything. Yeah, if you ever wanted to own a small business about repairing PCs, well, have I got news for you.
And it's super realistic.
Planet of the Eyes is next. That's $2. It is a super solid, easy platformer. If you're looking for something you can get done in like an hour and have your easy gamer score and feel like, yeah, all right, cool, and never really think about it again, Planet of the Eyes is great. And for $2, you really can't miss. We also got Slay the Spire, which is $9.99. Often, it is still in Game Pass, but it's been in Game Pass for a while. Probably one of the best deck building games, best card and board games there is out there. It will take you forever to complete, and would recommend that. Solitaire Conspiracy, card and board game, it's $2, down from $10. Solitaire Conspiracy is a fun twist on Solitaire. It's made by Mike Bethel, the same guy who did Thomas Was Alone and a lot of other unique things. It's a pretty fun little game. And finally, I have the trilogy of We Were Here games. So We Were Here 1 is 39 cents. We Were Here 2 is $1.99. And We Were Here Together is $4.54. So like all told, you can make out like a bandit for under... Oh, here. I was here.
Oh.
For under, $10, you can get all three of these pretty good co-op games. A lot of you might have We Were Here 1. That was Games with Gold a while back. But yeah, they are cooperative games, asymmetrical co-op where you're puzzle solving. I really love this series. It is a really good time to solve puzzles with your friend, and that is a steal. And if you can find a better game at 39 cents,
where did they come?
I would love to. 81% off. What? Like, it's normally $2, which in itself is a good deal. Game. Yeah. I would recommend it at $2, but at 39 cents, what can you even buy for that?
Right. You can't even get a gumball for that.
Like,
so now we wait for We Were Here Forever to drop down, because $17.99 sounds way too much next to those other prices.
I already bought We Were Here Forever. I'm just waiting for a co-op partner. I love this series. Yeah. The game was that. I believe it's We Were Here was the 39-cent game. We Were Here. So.
All right. And L, what game do you want to recommend?
All right. Well, I got an interesting, weird one. No Gravity Games did this thing for Christmas for the Switch where you get a free game every day for 12 days. And one of the games in there was called Creepy Tale. It's listed as an adventure game, but it's hard to describe. Basically, you have to go around and solve little puzzles. So it reminds me a little bit of Limbo. So if you do the wrong thing, you end up dying, but you just have to basically click around and do the right things and jump around. And Creepy Tale is $3 down from $10, and it's 1 to 2 hour completion, so it should be pretty easy. I actually did the Switch version with my son and Michelle. The three of us sat there, put our collective brains together, and did it. So I don't know what the achievements are like. I'm sure they're rather easy. And then the finale of those was Creepy Tale 2, which just came out for Xbox. And it's a $15 game, but if you buy it now, it's $12. So we started that, and it's like night and day from the first game. It's way better. It's fully voice acted, full story that the first game did not have. The first game was one of those where it told a story with no words. They had like thought bubbles and stuff like that. The second game, way better. They are both, the best part to me is that they're both play anywhere. Play them on the Windows, play them on your Xbox. So I'll give a quick shout out to those games. But Creepy Tale for $3, I would say grab that.
That looks
Great
like a game that you enjoy. I'm glad you had fun.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Well, we are in a new month, so that means we have new Game Pass news. Before we get to the new stuff, available now is Peaky Blinders Mastermind. That is available until the 15th. And then the two new games. We have Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Now that is pod racing.
I knew he was going to say that. That's why I paused.
It's so wizard.
That's available all month long. And there's a cheese in it, so it's a 1 to 2 hour completion. And the other game is Hoa. Available from May 16th to June 15th. I know nothing about this.
Oh, it's a.
I heard that you do.
It's no, it's an HOA. It's the kind of people that tell you
that's Hoa.
Oh.
That's Hoa.
I mean, I'm from New York. I know what that is. I know exactly what that is.
I don't know. 2 to 3 hour adventure game.
Oh no, 2 to 3 minutes is all I need. I mean, what's the next game?
Nope, that was it. But that's at least it for Games with Gold. We have some Game Pass news.
What? Pod Racer is another one where you use console commands, I think. Right? Yeah.
Dev menu and
yeah.
You cheat the finish line, or like you go like wicked fast.
Do you think something like that will bump up the ratio some?
Probably.
Oh, sure.
I think it's pretty easy to start. I think just doing your first race or doing something like it seems like it's pretty easy to get on your tag, and if they give it out for free, I definitely think you'll get the bump.
Yeah, finish your first race is a achievement.
You notice they gave us a Star Wars game in May? I mean, what are the odds?
Oh,
Never tell me the odds.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that from?
Star Trek.
Beat you. All right. Well, yeah, like I was saying, Game Pass news available today is Redfall.
More like Red Fail, am I right? Up top.
There it is. We have to talk about this. I mean...
Can we talk about it? We haven't tried it yet. Nobody here has played it.
I haven't tried it yet.
I haven't played
I'm sorry,
it.
Kenny. I know you don't want to be spoiled, but...
Classic.
I've heard that there's bad reviews. I've watched one TikTok on it.
All right, well, if you watched one TikTok,
I don't care.
I'm sure
I still want to watch it.
I mean...
Still watch it. I want to play it.
I'll give it a shot.
I want to try it. I've been very much excited for this game for a while now. It looked cool from everything we've seen, even though it is like falling flat.
Fug, what did Maka say? That you could permanently lock yourself out of a lot of achievements. Well, I guess not permanently, but you would have to start over.
there's a couple points of no return. There's like one big section of the game, and they warn you that you're not gonna be able to go back. And if you go past that point, you can't go back to the first part of the game, and then you're in the second part of the game. If you beat the end boss, you are immediately promoted to New Game Plus. So if you haven't gotten anything in the back half of the game, don't beat the boss. If you only want one playthrough, I believe is kind of how that roadmap goes.
Yeah, wait 6 months.
Honestly, if you wait 6 months, they're going to patch and fix
Everything will be nice. Yeah.
some of the issues, but like no one here has played it, so we don't know. And we've seen some bad reviews, and I've seen some reviews that say it's a good game, but we were expecting stellar, and it's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to try it and see what I think.
I had no expectations of it, and really only had heard about it this last week. So, is it co-op? I heard it's co-op. I'll give it a shot.
There's definitely co-op.
I was expecting some good things about, or a lot of good to come from it, since it is Arcane. You know, the people who did like the Dishonored series and Prey, and then I mean, this is one of the few Xbox exclusives that we're getting. This was supposed to be a first big heavy hitter since the Bethesda acquisition, and yeah, they're kind of just failing in all cases here.
I mean, it looks like
I'm kind of on the fence between trying it because, like, I've just been excited for it. I've been wanting to play it. It looks cool, but then also waiting for like an update to where we get to 60 frames per second, because it being only 30 is like bad in 2023.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
has there been a big Microsoft acquisition that has worked out and been like, oh man, they just create a whole bunch of like hit after hit? Because I remember Rare. Remember Rare? They used to make games that people liked. Then they made Grab by the Ghoulies, and it just...
Yeah.
Rare make the medium. Well done. So, yeah, it looks like one of my co-op partners,
Forza.
Icefire, decided to play this alone. Wonder why. Right,
you didn't wait till it's Red Spring. That's why.
Hey, I was about to play it alone because it doesn't seem like you and Prue even want to give it a shot. So
I'll try anything. I just want to make fun of it.
And he wonders why he doesn't
played
get
Minecraft
any.
Dungeons and lived to tell the tale. I said I'm not interesting. Wait a minute.
But yeah, Redfall is out. We need a patch.
Oh, Neo says Rare is the best company of all time because they made Banjo-Kazooie nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
I think it is.
Okay. He's right. Good game.
Besiege has been added for the console and PC. Wasn't that already in Game Pass?
Yeah, but now it's back.
So it came back. It was added back, and they fixed the unobtainable that was on the PC. So it's actually completable now. Yep.
That's what's up. And also coming back is Quantum Break.
Yeah, they fixed the licensing issue with Quantum Break, and it is back.
In
POG bigger than ever.
Glad I didn't take my own advice of buying it for $6, whatever it was.
And Quantum Break, by the way, you might want to play it this month because it's the game of the month.
Why is that? Ah, looky there.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Our patrons decided to just take a look back and fix the mistakes of our past and travel back to a Quantum Break. It's about time.
And on May 4th, the day that this podcast actually drops, for those not in Twitch chat, we have Ravenlock for the cloud console and PC.
I prefer
May 8th.
Slytherin.
Nice. May 8th, we have Weird West Definitive Edition. On May 9th, we have Shadowrun Trilogy for the PC. And on May 11th, we have Fuga, Melodies of Steel 2, cloud, console, and PC.
Yeah.
Great month.
Great games. Not as good as Nuclear Blaze, though.
I'm looking forward to Ravenlock. It's Coco Cucumber, who did Echo Generation, Riverbond,
Planet of the Eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And there's no voxels. No, not a single voxel to be seen in Ravenlock. It looks a little bit kind of like it looks a lot like a kind of like a Zelda type adventure. So I'm interested. I will be checking it out.
All right. And then leaving Game Pass on May 15th, we have Before We Leave. I was assuming
Makes
a bad
sense.
joke was coming there.
Yeah, no. What's next?
It writes it. Yeah.
We have Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair Anniversary Edition. What a name. Hearts of Iron 4. Be warned if you actually want to start this, although I doubt anyone listening is going to try to play this, as it has 12 unobtainables.
Do you even know what Hearts of Iron is?
It's like a World War II game or something like that.
Yeah, it's I believe it's by the same. It's a Paradox, like Crusader Kings, that kind of thing. I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Good luck.
We have Her Story. It's a visual novel. Who cares?
Her Story is great, and you should
Play with
actually
Brooke.
play it. You should
No.
you should
I'm
actually play it. I think it's a lot of fun as a visual novel, as a fun detective story, trying to piece together what happened. Or you can cheat and use the guides and get it done in a half hour. But it's fun.
See, now that's how you sell someone on a visual novel. Wait, actually, hold up. Is it like all those other visual novels where you don't have to read any dialogue and you press one button and it skips it all?
Okay, so no, Her Story it's all about videos. So it's like you're at a police desk and it's like, oh, we have all the videos for this file, but they're out of order, and you got to search for different keywords to piece together the mystery. And to get everything, you have to watch all the videos. So there's people that will give you the keywords so that you can find all the videos nice and easy. But
Can you skip the video?
yeah, you can. What is better, though, is actually trying to detective out what the story is, because it's actually pretty well written, and it's fun trying to be a detective. Yeah, Telling Lies is similar to that, actually. Telling Lies is did the same thing. Her Story did it first, but came to Game Pass later. I had played this on Steam well before it came to Game Pass on PC.
Yeah, I remember. Now that you say it, I remember Elle or Nate or one of you talking about
It was me.
that.
I was talking about. I had like a little scrapbook, and I was trying to figure out who everyone was, and like doing the little spider web thing, trying to figure out who's related to who, and yeah.
As I said before, my friend Pedro is leaving console and PC, and it is a stack. Good luck trying to complete it, because that has the achievements for getting like S tier in all the missions. So yeah. And last one that Devin talked about a little bit ago, we have Unami Generation Special Edition.
Umami Generation. It's all about savory.
Yeah. That is leaving game. All those games are leaving Game Pass on the 15th. You can pick them up now for 20% off. There it is. Shilling out for Melissa. All right. Let's get into contests. Nate, tell us about the Gamertag contest.
Yeah, Gamertag Challenge, where we try to spell the name of a patron, randomly select a patron with the achievements that we earn. Last month was Facial LaFleur, and his wildcard game was any new achievement or previous completion in the dodgeball genre. And then the bonus was the 5Ds, earning achievements with the word dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge anywhere in the name. We had 21 participants, 186 letters, 10 full gamer tags were spelled. There were 6 wild cards used, and there were 21 bonuses earned. Our top earners were GT3 Option Fan with 3, Retstack with 5, and Chewy on Ice with 12, for a total of 313 entries. And our winner, with the gamertag and a wild card, Crunchy Goblin. Congratulations.
Oh,
Hey, congratulations.
Hey.
Next up for the month of May is LA Jester. It's not X-Lax Jester, guys. Stop it. It's LA
I think
Jester.
you're saying that wrong.
Well, I've had a discussion with him. Those are his initials. It's L.A. Jester. It's not X-Lax Jester. His wild card game is or LAX Jester. Is any new achievement or previous completion in the Sexy Brutale is equal to 1 bonus draw max. And the bonus is Surely You Jest. Earning achievements with the letters LOL in order, but they do not need to be consecutive. So you can have other letters, you can have spaces between them. As long as it's an L followed by an O followed by another L, that is a valid achievement. And we'll put it on a spreadsheet or something that makes that a little easier. If you just paste all your achievements in, it'll tell you what to pick, what not to pick. And that'll be in the channel on the Discord in the future.
All right. And once again, being the beginning of the month, that means we have our patron drawing. As always, we thank you, all of our patrons, for supporting the podcast and the Discord. And with that, our patron winner for the month of May is GT3 Option Fan. Jimmy.
Congratulations.
Thank you for supporting the podcast. Message me and we'll get you a code. Same thing with the Gamertag Challenge. And with that, it's time for some brags. Take it away, Vulgar.
It says Latker. All right. Jeremy DJ has reached a new milestone of 300 completed games. Princet has done 400 completed games. Mr. P-Tart has done 450 completed games. Enigma Gamer 77, 500 completed games. Unky Tim FU has reached 900, as has Raw Sauce Ross. Triple Triad has done 950. Oh, yeah, no. 1,000 completed games. Just that's kind of nuts. Mental Knight 5 has reached 1,750 for completed games, and Sangrias has had 2,900 completed games.
In streaks, Dunkos is on a 50-day streak. Quantum Gray 17, 250, as is What the Fug. Next up is Domain with 400 days. Survivalist with 650 days. Retro Chief at 1969 with 850 days, and Bastard Meter with 1,950 days.
Wow.
Celebrating their 3-year anniversary win streak is Fluttery Chicken.
In Gamerscore, Quantum Gray 17 has hit 300,000. Play Fit XR has hit 350,000. Icy Thrasher has hit 450,000. Umple Beast has hit 550,000. Sadak has hit 600,000. Scholar Reverse Verse has hit 700,000. Matriarch has hit 900,000. The Arya Dragon has hit 950,000. Northern Lass has hit 1.3 million gamer score. Triple Triad 777 has hit 1.4 million gamer score. Toadstyle Venom has hit 1.6 million gamer score. Magic Monkey has hit 1.9 million gamer score. Sangrias has hit 3.2 million gamer score. Crazy.
In leaderboards, EL Sock, it's in the game. Now in top 10,000 of the max possible compilation percentage leaderboard. GT3 Option Fan is now in the top 100 of the Georgia TA leaderboard for Xbox Live Arcades. High Road V2 is now in the top 500 of the TA leaderboard for baseball. Let's go Moots. Icy Thrasher is in the top 5 of the TA leaderboard for turn-based. Luke 17,000 is now in the top 10,000 of the TA difference leaderboard for Sandbox. So baseball and then Sandbox. Makes sense. Mighty Mango, top 50 of the Gamerscore leaderboard for pinball. Radnanas. What is that, like Shannon Dar, spelled backwards? I know you're here in Twitch. Hello. Now in the top 10,000 of the TA leaderboard. Very nice. Drunken Monkeys is now in the top 10 of the California TA difference leaderboard for survival. And last but not least is Nerdy Neo, who is on every Metroidvania leaderboard known to man. But we will say top 20 TA leaderboard and number 1 in California. Very nice.
Nice. I feel like he's hit that before. Might be trading off 1 and 2 spot with someone else.
Nah, maybe he's just going back to a previous area now that he's conquered it.
Mm-hmm. So, like, he would become number 2, and then he would, jump twice back up.
Double jump to the top.
Yeah.
Right. Double jump. Right.
He left a
Banner
power
confirmed.
up. Yeah.
Screw attack. Wave beam.
Good job, Neo, and thank you for keeping up with the Vayner channel. The Vayner of the month is... Oh, wait. He's probably going to have his own section in this episode, but that's okay. It's Star Wars Fallen Order, finally. And there's another one, too. I'll let him talk about it.
Return to Tethys, I think, something like that.
Oh, yeah, Escape from Tethys.
Yeah, Escape from Tethys.
As Rocker would
Double
say,
jump to
Tethys.
Tethys. Yeah.
That's weird.
Tethys.
Texas. No. Escape from Texas.
Yes, Escape from Texas. Please, everyone who can, do it.
Bring the barbecue, though.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Bring me to Texas. That sounds so good.
All right.
Good job, everybody. I haven't been tagged for Brag Camp in a while. Come on, people. Get with the program. Tag the Big L. I don't care if it's about games or not. I'll read whatever you tag me in. I'm pretty easy. Pretty easy. Bless you.
All right. Well, if that will finish out the show for us this week. Once again, thank you to all of our patrons. If you would like to become a patron, get all the bonuses, get into patron VIP chat, get in for the patron drawing and whatnot. Patreon.com/achievementhunting101. And if I feel like there's a couple of you in Twitch chat right now that I don't recognize, get on over to Discord, discord.io/AH101. That's the place to be. That's where the community hangs out. If you're not in Discord, then you're lame. That's all I can say.
And the people in the Discord are pretty lame as well. Don't feel left out.
Yeah.
It depends.
No.
Don't sell yourself short, Foof. You can be pretty lame.
Oh, I know. I never said I was cool.
No, I'm the opposite of... that's okay. We're in good company. I'm the opposite of cool.
You're hot.
And last but not least, we have Twitch, first Tuesday of the month. We always go live. We do different game streams throughout the month, very randomly. Twitch.tv/AH101. If you're here in chat with us, be sure to hit that follow button or sub to us. You hit that. If you got Amazon Prime, you get it for free. And more importantly, you get entered into the ducky races that's coming up after this. And just as a side note, if you are someone who only ever listens to the show and you wonder what the heck is a ducky races, then head on over to our YouTube channel. I put up the show there in its entirety so you can watch all this, watch all the shenanigans and whatnot. And you can see what the ducky race is and all the fun is about and the giveaways there. But with that, thank you all for listening. Class is dismissed. See y'all next week. On to the ducky races.
Bye.
Bye.
Duckies.
Hello, once again, AH101. This is Neo21, and this is the April Year of the Vayner summary. So in April, we had 15 Vayner completions, but due to Infernax getting a title update almost immediately after it left Game Pass, there was a total of 24 lost completions in Infernax, since almost everyone here completed it while it was on Game Pass. There were only 3 who recompleted it after it got the title update. And one of those was EOJ, who was the 3rd person to complete it after the title update. The Vayner of the Month for Vayner of the Month for April was Ori and the Blind Forest, which tied with the Night Witch for most completions in April. They both had 2 completions each. The gamer with the most completions in April was J-Huns with 5, I Make Poop 24/7 with 3, and Scarvese with 2. The May Vayner of the Month was rolled as Escape from Tethys, but due to the Fallen Order curse and it being Star Wars month for the month of May, I decided to finally manually dictate that Fallen Order is also a bonus Vayner of the month. So you can complete either of those in May to get your bonus rolls for the end of the year raffle. Notable shoutouts. Jay Huns was the second person to complete Vernal Edge. As I just mentioned a moment ago, EOJ was third to complete Infernax after the title update. And I Make Poop 24/7 was the third to complete Zappling Bygone. Some notable leaderboard updates was that Jay Huns overtook Skeptical Mario and is now first in the world in Vayner TA. So congrats to Jay Huns. Great work, dude. Freemhole is now in the top 5,000 in Vayner achievements. Scarvese is now second in Philadelphia Vayner achievements and top 50 in US Vayner achievements. And myself, I had a humble brag, but I had a bunch this month. I am now first in California for Vayner achievements and first in California for Vayner TA and top 10 in US TA and top 20 in global TA. So that was pretty exciting to see all those pop up within a couple days of each other. On to the stats. Oh, actually, before we get on to the stats, just wanted to let everyone know, if you weren't aware, that a couple days ago, Last Case of Benedict Fox released on Game Pass, and that is a Vayner. There's been a little bit of a discussion in the Vayner channel, so if you are interested in that, you can go see what those who have played it have to say about it so far. All right, on to stats. So for TA earned in the month of April, in first place was Jay Huns with 10,848. Myself, Neo21, in second with 9,096. And in third place was I Make Poop 24/7 with 8,413. For Gamerscore earned in the month of April, in first place was I Make Poop 24/7 with 2,460. In second place was Jay Huns with 2,080. And Icefire TN in third place with 1,525. For achievements earned, in first place was I Make Poop 24/7 with 68 achievements. Second place was Icefire TN with 59 achievements. And in third place was a tie between myself and Jay Huns. We each had 48 achievements for the month of April. All right, there was quite a number of you who did not get an achievement in the last 2 months. So there are now 10 on the tracking suspended list. So you'll have to check that out and get another achievement in order to regain tracking status. And there are 8 of you on the chopping block that if you don't get an achievement in May, you'll also be in tracking suspended. So check that out on the spreadsheet. And that is it for April. And I will talk to you guys at the end of May.